Virat Kohli's knock against the Gujarat Titans, which along with Will Jacks's 100 ensured that RCB somehow still stay in contention for an IPL 2024 playoff spot, was definitely one of his better knocks in the IPL, but more so than his actual batting, it is his fiery response in the post-match presentation that has gotten a lot of people talking. Kohli has basically written off anyone who actually critiques or analyzes his game as someone who may not be able to know what they're doing. And while that has gone on well with a lot of his fans, which we'll delve into in this particular video, is it necessarily the right route to take? And what exactly does this mean really for the Indian mantra or the Indian cricket players' mantra that we always ignore the outside noise? We're going to discuss those things in a little bit of detail in this video. But before we go through anything else, let's quickly take a look at what it is that Kohli said that has generated such a storm, whether positive or negative, on social media. He said after the match that all people who talk about strike rates and me not playing spin well talk about these things, and by which he meant numbers. For me, it's about winning games. Okay, so far so good. He has given out a bit of a reposit to people who have criticized him and said that for me, numbers don't matter, winning games do. Fair enough. But then he took it one further. He said, I'm not sure that if you haven't been in that situation yourself, to sit there and talk about the game from the box. People can talk about their assumptions day in and day out. So basically what he said is, unless you've actually been in that situation, you can't possibly be sitting in the box. I'm assuming he means the commentary box, whether real, figurative, imaginary, whatever, and talk about the game. People can talk about their assumptions day in, day out. Now, as I said, this is in essence him posting a stinging reply, what he feels is a stinging reposit to anyone who's dared criticize him, or in his words, or in his feelings maybe, hate on him. And definitely it's something a lot of his fans on social media have picked up. Let's check out some reactions that have come in from bona fide certified Virat Kohli fans. This one right here says, Virat Kohli has shut down all the haters today. Another fan went further and said, Virat Kohli has shut down all the critics and haters. As I said, one step further. Two more fans saying stuff like, haters have been real quiet since this statement has come from Virat. And yet another says that Virat Kohli gave a good and mature answer to haters and fans too. I mean, wow, if we're looking at it in that sense, sure, he's replied to all the haters. It's a fitting reply, all of that. But there's two things that really deserve a little bit of talking about when it comes to this particular outburst from Kohli. One is, it pretty much dispels the notion that these cricketers don't listen to the outside noise and only focus on their processes. If he didn't listen to the outside noise, then I don't think he'd have been hearing about any of the criticism that came his way, specifically when it comes to both playing spin as well as sometimes his lack of intent that can lead to a drop in his strike rate. And secondly, for all those fans who are sitting there and celebrating the fact that Kohli has put the haters in his place or in their place, let me just say this is a bit of an attack on you too, because if you haven't been in the if you haven't been out there in the middle doing it for 15 years like he has, then your opinion also doesn't really matter. Yeah, your fandom matters, your support is great, but don't ever sit there and tell Virat Kohli how it is that he should play the game. Don't tell him how it is to approach the game, because he's been doing this for 15 years. He's been winning games for the nation. Therefore, any criticism is invalid, and contrary to popular belief, they really do listen to the outside noise. So me personally, I'm not quite sure how to take it, because I know I have sometimes been one of those people who has been critical of Kohli and his strike rate, but all of it comes from good faith. It's not about hating on anyone or just talking empty talk. Those numbers that he pulls up, well, they exist for a reason. If the numbers show that he's slow against spin, then it's a fair assumption to say that he can't quite accelerate against spin. If the numbers sometimes show that his strike rate has dropped in certain phases of the innings or against certain players, then it reflects that he hasn't been able to get away those bowlers as easily. No one's having fun with that criticism. It's just people doing their jobs and pointing out what exactly the numbers are and what the context is behind those numbers. And I don't think anyone needs to have played competitive cricket to be able to analyze and have a good mind for it. But then again, that's just my opinion. What do you guys think? Well, you can let us know that in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, tap that bell icon, follow us also on social media. We're on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Don't forget to download the AajTak app. And if you're already on the channel, go ahead, check out some other videos we've posted as well. For now, from my side though, it is goodbye.